Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you. So congratulations.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zillner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Mr. Clyde started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. The C's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
When your life is anchored in principle, you don't need permission to be consistent. You don't need hype to follow through. You don't need to feel ready to execute. You act because you've already decided. You lead because it's who you are now, not something you're trying to become someday. A principle-led life is clear. It's simple. It's powerful. Because principles create boundaries. They protect your energy. They filter your decisions. They keep you in alignment. And alignment is what allows you to move with confidence without needing every detail figured out. When you have principles, you don't need to debate every decision. You don't waste time asking yourself whether you should or shouldn't. You already know. You've already chosen the path. You already have a standard that speaks louder than your feelings, and that's what gives you an edge when things get noisy. Your principles are your compass. They keep you from drifting. They remind you who you are when your mind is tired and your emotions are high. When life gets heavy, your feelings will try to lead, but if you've trained your principles to lead, instead, you'll keep moving in the right direction. Ask yourself right now, what are the principles that govern your life? Not what you hope to live by, but what you actually live by. When pressure rises, what guides your behavior? When things go wrong, what determines your response? If your answer is whatever I feel like, then your life is reactive, not strategic. Strategic people don't wait to feel aligned. They stay aligned by honoring their principles. They build their schedule around their values. They choose habits that reflect who they want to become, not who they were yesterday. And that's the difference. Not talent, not motivation, structure, built from values. If one of your principles is integrity, then cutting corners isn't an option, even if it's easier. If one of your principles is growth, then staying comfortable is not something you reward. If one of your principles is excellence, then you don't show up at 70% and call it done. You lead with standard, not emotion. And the beautiful thing about principles is that they scale. You don't outgrow them. As your responsibilities increase, your principles become even more important. They keep your foundation strong. They help you grow without losing yourself. They help you move faster without falling apart. Too many people build success around momentum, but momentum fades. Life gets in the way. Distractions multiply. And if you're not built on principle, you'll collapse. You'll fall back into old patterns. You'll burn out trying to rebuild motivation. But when your success is anchored in who you are, not just what you do, you become resilient. You become consistent. You become sustainable. So take a moment and decide what kind of person you want to be when no one's watching. What kind of behavior you will no longer tolerate from yourself. What kind of actions you'll take even when it's hard. That's your foundation. That's the version of you who can lead, perform, and grow for the long term. You don't need more information. You need a system for how you live. One that isn't based on your mood. One that isn't altered by pressure. One that keeps you grounded even when life throws chaos your way. That's what Principle gives you.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach. You know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. My rich dad was one of those persons. I wanted to learn how to play Monopoly in real life. So he was my coach.
Well, Carter, we have an opportunity here at the Thrivetime Show to work with some really great business owners, people that are actually serious about growing their company. They go to thrivetimeshow.com and they reach out to schedule a free 13-point assessment. And oftentimes I hop on the phone with these folks and we figure out if they're a good fit. And once we start working with a client, our goal is to help the client to actually grow their actual business. And on today's show, we're joined with a man who we've had the opportunity to work with. The company's called NWA Gutter Perfection. And my understanding, Carter, is that they're up over 60%. Is that right? I would say that's correct, yes. DJ, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing, Clay?
I'm doing great. So for anybody out there who is doubting whether you're a hologram or not, what's the name of your company, sir?
Gutter Perfection.
How did you guys first hear about us? Do you know?
It's actually a friend of mine found out about your business conferences there, and then we went there. And I guess I was sold the first conference we went to.
And, as far as working with us, could you tell everybody out there, what are the services that you guys provide? What are the products and services that your company provides? And then we can talk about how we've been able to help you grow there.
We do everything gutter related, from gutter installation to cleanings, leaf guard installation, French drains.
And so your business, how long have you guys been in business there at NWA Gutter Perfection?
About 3 years now, just tipping over 3 years.
And why did you guys originally reach out for help? I mean, did you remember kind of where you felt stuck or where you needed the most help?
I mean, I think one of the partners has a business mind. I do not have a business mind at all. So really, I've learned a lot from everything, not just one aspect. It was the total package, I guess.
Now, Carter, you've had the opportunity to work with DJ, and you're always telling me great things about working with him. Mm-hmm. What makes DJ a great person to work with? Like, what makes him a great client to work with?
So diligent doers. But one of the big things they do really well is tracking their leads. And that's one that gets lost on some people. There is a statistic in this office where it's like things from Forbes, 35 to 64% of leads never get called at all. And so having that lead tracker, you can see if there's any drifted leads on there. And it is really, really effective. So basically what we do is leads that are booked are green, leads that are no's are red, and then leads that are like drifted are yellow. And we don't have any yellows. It's kind of the idea behind it. So
let's just talk about the business and what we've been able to work on it together to help them grow. And then we'll get into the lead tracking here. So first thing, hypothetically, it's hard to track leads if you don't have any leads.
It's true.
And so we've worked with the folks at Gutter Perfection to help increase the number of leads. DJ, do you know, has the number of leads gone up since you've started working with us there, sir?
I would say yes. I think we were already ranking in Google, I think, when we started working with you, but the help of the reviews, that really skyrocketed the leads that we've been getting.
So the number of leads has gone up.
Yes.
And then when people fill out the form on the website, let's talk about the systems we put in place there. Do you guys have a call script in place now for calling the leads there, DJ?
We do have a call script. We're still working on a bunch of the other scripts that we have in place, but for the most part, my wife does all of the handling of the calls. So she and Carter have worked, and I know a lot of the stuff she didn't like to do, but she also sees that it's not set up for her to do that long term. It's for somebody else to do that. But obviously she cares about the company. So if she writes the script, then the people need to follow that script.
Got it. And I'm going to pull this up on the screen so people can kind of follow along and see this process, because growing a company isn't an event, it's actually a process. So step one, establishing the revenue goals. I'm not asking you for your revenue goals on today's show, but do you have in your mind the revenue goals that do you guys have clear revenue goals for your business there, sir?
Yes, and they change probably every year.
Okay. Now, as far as the break even numbers, I want all of our clients to know how many sales they need to break even. Do you feel like you have a pretty good grasp of that at this point, as far as how many deals you need to break even?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this third box we work with our clients on is making sure we define how many hours per week they're willing to work, kind of build a sustainable schedule. And for every client, this is a different number. But at this point, are you in a rhythm there with the business where you guys have a schedule that works for you guys?
I have a schedule that works for me. I don't know how much that works for my wife, but my schedule works for me. So yes, individually, we each have our own jobs.
Now, this next area is we have to determine the unique value proposition. What is it that makes you guys different at NWA Gutter Perfection? Like, what makes you guys different from the competition?
Well, I mean, right there at the beginning of the website, it shows home of the 10-year no leak guarantee. That's I'm not sure where our competition is with that, but that's the best around that I know of. And then just the taking care of the customers and making sure that they are the priority. We moved down from Minnesota, and that's it's a lot different here than it is in Minnesota.
How is it different in Arkansas than Minnesota?
I mean, first off, the weather, like you sweat to death here compared to Minnesota, but I think it's just different. It's just different.
Okay. I actually grew up in Minnesota, so I know a little bit about rhubarb and Minnesota and operating in sub-zero temperatures most of the time. Okay, now improving the branding. I know we've worked with you on the website, enhancing the website. Since those website enhancements have been made, the amount of leads has gone up. Now, the next area we work on, this next box, is creating a three-legged marketing stool. Carter, what are the three areas that you guys right now at NWA Gutter Perfection are implementing to generate leads?
Yeah, so we're working on some Dream 100 marketing right now, currently, but the Google reviews definitely have gone up. The Google leads have gone up as a result of that, and then just getting some video testimonials as well. And then on that lead tracker, they do a great job of writing notes in there.
Yep.
I would say, and DJ, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but somewhere between like 70% of people that book with them mention something about like reviews or testimonials or something of that sort too.
Are you hearing that, DJ? Are people referencing that they've read the reviews or they've watched the testimonials?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely, probably 70%, if not higher, like 100%.
Got it.
And let me pull this up real quick so people can see this. One thing we look at when we're growing a business is we want to establish a three-legged marketing stool, as I mentioned. So leg number one is we want to dominate the search engine results. And so that's one thing we're doing right there at NWA Gutter Perfection is we're dominating the search engine results. The second we're doing is we're making sure we're focused on the online reputation, making sure we're gathering objective Google and video reviews. And then the third thing that you guys are doing, it appears as though you guys are doing a Dream 100 marketing campaign. Have you gone into that in full force yet? Is that something you're still working on, Carter, or where are we at on the Dream 100 system?
Kind of broaching it right now, right at the beginning, seeing, what works and what doesn't. So right at the beginning of that right now.
Okay. And for anybody out there that doesn't know, a Dream 100 is where you make a list of the 100 ideal and likely referral sources that you want to refer you business. DJ, in your world, who would be likely to refer you guys business as a roofer? Or as a gutter perfection business? Who would be likely to refer you business?
Roofers, of course, they go kind of hand in hand. Property managers, real estate people, anybody in real estate, pretty much anybody that has anything to do with houses.
Got it. And you guys you're just now getting started on that. Now, the next box is you have to have sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, pre-written emails, and lead tracking. It sounds like you're nailing the lead tracking right now. Are you implementing recorded calls yet? Have you started that process yet?
I know we looked into that. That's another thing with my wife handling all the calls. She's like, I don't want to be recorded, but ultimately she sees that that's going to be the benefit for the company. So I know she's checked into that. We're just finalizing some of that stuff.
And I just want people to know this. If you're looking to grow a business and you're stuck, the purpose of coaching is it's not a one-time event. It's not like we hop on a call and we make all the solutions on one phone call. I tell people, if you want to grow your business, every week we're going to make about a 2% improvement. So at the end of the year, we've improved every aspect of the company. And so each week, DJ, you and Carter meet. What's the value in your mind, DJ, to having a weekly meeting with Carter where you're chipping away at the changes as opposed to meeting with somebody quarterly or meeting with somebody monthly? What's the big benefit you see of meeting weekly?
I think just to keep it at top of mind, because after running a business, there's a lot of noise that can get in the way to keep you from ultimately reaching those little goals, which are key to growing the business, I think. So if you met quarterly, I mean, I don't know if they'd ever get done, to be honest with you.
Now, again, you had a friend of yours that was working with us. Is that right? Or a friend of yours had come to our conference? Is that initially how you said a friend of yours referred you to us?
Yeah, it was actually my brother-in-law went to one of the Reawaken America tours.
Awesome. Now I'm going to go back here to this again, folks. If you're out there today and you have a business and you feel stuck, there's a 14-point system. We'll walk you through the whole thing, but I'm just giving you an example or examples of the kinds of improvements we'll make for you. Now, box 8, you got to determine your sustainable customer acquisition cost. What does it cost to obtain each customer? Are you to a point now where you know how much it costs you guys to gather a new customer?
Yeah, I think we got it pretty much nailed down on that part. A lot of the numbers are somebody else's deal, but we talk about them with Carter. So if I'm paying attention during those meetings, then I know what that answer is.
Got it. And then as far as creating systems and processes, are you to a point now where you're creating checklists and processes for the actual work that you're doing? Are you to a place now where you're doing that, or where are you at on creating those systems?
Yeah, we started the checklists. Like I said, Sarah had the call scripts done, which I guess would basically be a checklist for the call script part. And we've had I mean, we still got a ways to go on the checklist, but we're knocking them out.
Now, on this next box here is managing people. Carter's been bragging on you. He says you guys call your leads faithfully. You follow up on your leads, and you're actually converting leads into customers. Any thoughts on the management of people? Has that been a challenge for you to learn how to do that, or have you feel like that's been something you've always been pretty good at, DJ? Or
Managing of customers or employees?
Employees.
Yeah, that's I mean, I feel I could definitely learn some more there. I feel sometimes that they push me around a little bit, but after coming to your conferences and listening to you, I mean, there's definitely room for me to grow in that area.
Now, just a fun story, because I manage employees as well, and I just encourage everybody out there: if you have employees on your business and you're not learning how to, if you don't know how to effectively manage them, that is one of the things that we're going to teach you, and that's something that you and Carter work on every week. Now, as far as the next area here, human resources, finding people, finding quality employees. Have you started the group interview process yet, or have you started the process of hiring people, or where are you at right now on the hiring process?
Yeah, we haven't started the group interview yet. We just got a new office location, so hopefully that'll be, doing that group interview is going to help get that going early this 24, and I'm sure that it'll be fine with your guys' help with the group interview thing. Right now, I'm still up in I'm at a loss for how that's going to look and what to do with that right now, but.
Now, how much are your sales up this year versus last year?
That's a good question. Carter, how much are they up?
So last I looked at the tracking sheet, we're up 60%.
60%. So what would you say, DJ, for anybody out there that's, thinking about going to thrivetimeshow.com and scheduling a free assessment? We call it a 13-point assessment. But what would you say to anybody out there who's thinking about scheduling a 13-point assessment with our business coaching team?
I mean, I would say to just do it and then go to one of your conferences. Once you're at the conference, you're going to see what these guys are all about. I mean, it's intense. Like I think I've been to 3 of the business conferences now, and I learned something every time because there's so much packed in to those 2 days that it's hard to keep track of everything. Even if you take notes, it's hard to keep it all under control on what's coming at you. But I mean, I was thinking about that a lot I knew that this was coming up, and I think I think anybody can grow a business to a certain point, but then to actually grow it further than that, like everybody has a cap somewhere. And what is that cap? I think we reached our cap when we reached out to you guys, and now we've exceeded that cap, obviously, with the 60% growth over last year. But I mean, I don't regret joining up.
What I find for a lot of people, and Carter, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, is in business ownership, there's 3 aspects of business coaching that we work with owners on. Is one is knowing what to do. I think a lot of business owners just don't know what to do. They just want to know, tell me specifically what works and I'll do it. And they want to know the literal plan of what to do. The second is they need somebody to kind of hold them accountable a little bit to make sure that it gets done. And then third is it's like kind of there's that I don't know if it's the emotional aspect of it or how you would describe it, but the first time you have to fire somebody, how does that go? The first time you start tracking leads, how does that go? And I feel like those are the 3 things we're working on with our clients is, one, what's the literal path someone needs to go down to build a multi-million-dollar company? But then the second is the accountability. Is somebody actually going to implement the plan? And then third is the emotional application of those things. And you're always bragging on DJ and saying that he's a great client to work with. What makes him, I know I asked you earlier, but what makes him great to work with from your perspective?
It's the day-to-day stuff. Like, the lead tracking is something that gets lost in a lot of people. And it's like, and you said you got to improve 2% every day and it makes a massive improvement at the end of the year. Well, guess what? If you follow up on leads, it's going to make a massive improvement because you're going to close that many more deals at the end of the year. And they do a great job of just relentlessly following up on those leads. I like that. I like that mentality, that sales mentality. But just getting stuff done. We got a couple more things to implement, but they just get stuff done.
I'm going to pull this up real quick here. Final note here, folks. If you go to nwagutterperfection.com, you can see they're a real company. They're a real business. They really are growing. What markets do you service there, DJ? For people out there that might be looking for your services, what's the market area that you service?
Pretty much all of Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, Springdale, Fayetteville, Rogers, the little surrounding towns there too.
And again, if you go to the website here, folks, nwagutterperfection.com, you can see they are a real business, real people having real success. DJ, I really do appreciate your time today, sir, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. See ya.
Take care. Bye.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're going to be breaking down what Robert Kiyosaki has recently been talking about. Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author, the New York Times best-selling author and real estate investment guru, has recently been talking more and more about acta non verba. You say, what's acta non verba? Well, one, it's Latin, so don't get too concerned there, but it's acta. Again, this acta non verba. What it means is action. You need to watch what people do and not what they say. That's the idea. Watch what somebody does and not what they say.
Hi, I'm Ryan Wimpy.
And I'm Rachel Wimpy, and the name of our business is Tip Top Canine.
Our business is a dog training business. We help people with behavioral issues and teach their dog how to listen. When I was learning to become a dog trainer, we didn't learn anything about internet marketing or advertising or anything at all. Just dog training. And that's what's so great about working with Clay and his team, because they do it all for us.
So that we can focus on our passion, and that's training dogs. Clay and his team here, they're so enthusiastic. Their energy is off the charts. Never a dull moment here at Thrive.
We've been working with Clay and his team for the last 5 months, 2 of which have been our biggest months ever. 1, our biggest gross by 35%. Clay's helped us make anything from brochures to stickers, new business cards, new logos, scripts for phones, script for email, script for text message, scripting for everything.
How I would describe the weekly meetings with Clay and his team are awesome. They're so effective. It's worth every minute. Things get done. We'll ask for things like different flyers, and they're done before our hour's up. So it's just awesome, extremely effective.
If you don't use Clay and his team, you're probably going to be pulling your hair out, or you're going to spend half of your time trying to figure out the online marketing game and producing your own flyers and marketing materials, print materials, all the stuff like that. You're really losing a lot as far as lost productivity and lost time. Not having a professional do it, it has a real sense of urgency and that actually knows what they're doing when you already have something that's your core focus that you already know how to do.
You would also be missing out with all the time and financial freedom that you would have working with Clay and his team.
We would recommend Clay and his team to other business owners because they need to be working on their business, not just trying to figure out the online game, which is complex and changing daily. So no one has a marketing team too. Most people don't. They can't afford one, and their local web guy or a local person that they know probably can't do everything that a whole team and a whole floor of people can do in hours and not just weeks or months. There's a definite sense of urgency with Clay and his team. I used to have to ride other web people, really ride them to get stuff done, and stuff is done so fast here. And there's a real sense of urgency to get it done. It's great.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Deeds, not words. So acta non verba, deeds, not words, or acts, not words. James, a lot of people, they come to our business workshops because they're listening to our podcast, our business podcast, and they say, man, I want to achieve massive success. And they see some of the testimonials and they go, if that guy could do it, I could do it. That's kind of where it starts.
I see it happen all the time, Clay.
Because your desk is about 2 inches from mine, I think.
Right.
And so people will say, oh, if that guy can do it, then I can do it.
That's correct.
So the 2 big principles I want to teach on today's show, just 2 principles. One is this idea of acta non verba, means acts, not words. The second concept I want to teach is that money is a magnifier.
I was looking to learn how to take my business, like they've said today, from being very successful to being systematic. I've got a very successful practice in 3 different cities, make good money, just want to take it to the next level with systems and processes to where I can drive my cars more.
Paul Hood.
I have been a CPA for 33 years.
And what kind of growth have you and your great team had here over the past, let's say, 5, 6 years?
The last when I met you 5 years ago, we were doing 3 million. This year we'll do 24 million.
Which is more than, and he's an accountant. So we're going to talk about that. So Paul introduced me to Bob because he said there's a guy that came into my office looking to raise some capital. I think that was the thing. And he needed to get some sales going. That's how. And so if we tell Paul from the accounting perspective, I'm going to pass the mic to you. You do accounting. Why do you have to have a website that makes sense and all that branding stuff? How has that impacted your brand, having websites and all those branding things in place?
Well, when I met you, like most CPAs, I thought my clients only come from referrals, but we get 500 leads in a 2-month period every month just off of Google. And so this is my face. We have 17 offices across 4 states. We have in every state, but this is our face. Like what you were saying, it's visual, and it also us to say why we're different. That about us from there is spectacular, and it just it's an industry that is changing. We're modifying it. We're going to we offer our services in a subscription model to where it's all inclusive, and it's just been awesome.
Will determine the level of success.
So success in business is not what you know how to do, it's actually doing it. And so the thing that I would tell you is stop it. Get like this guy and let him go after it. Insane, because then you can be doing what you do well and take that time and invest in something else on top of that as contacts. And I don't get anything for selling his, just telling you what he's done for us so that we could focus. And then he'll come in and I'll say, I think I've got it all. And he listens for 5 minutes and he makes one, and I want to slap myself in the face. Well, why didn't I think about that? That's idiotic. But they're sick freaks. They just get it done.
I don't know. I think it's because it's merit-based pay in their office. So if the people here, like, they get paid. So if we were taking on your account and someone else to do this, but if you hired a different marketing company, I'm just giving you best practices. You want to make sure that they win when you win. So like in our office, if we grow Dave Asey's podcast, that benefits our company to the extent it benefits them, but we actually benefit if they benefit. Does that make sense to you?
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
So on today's show, I'm going to just hammer testimonials. So you can see people that heard about the conference through a podcast or through a friend or whatever, and they had a business that was stagnant. It was stuck. It wasn't growing. It wasn't thriving. It was just surviving, right? It was stagnant. It was stuck. It wasn't growing. It was just stagnant. It was stuck. It wasn't thriving, it was surviving. And they heard about the podcast, they heard about the conference, they heard about the success stories, and they came to the conference. That's step one. They came to the conference. And by the way, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com, you can name your price for all the workshops I do. We want to make it affordable for everybody. So they came out to the in-person 2-day workshop. They went to Thrivetime Show. They requested a ticket. We called them, got them their ticket. Then, James, we interviewed them after the conference, and we said, how was it?
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I've definitely learned a lot about life design and making sure the business serves you. The goal setting, well, it's not like it's somewhat basic stuff. Making sure we have different goals for every part of your life is super important. Also, the linear workflow. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
And they said, oh my gosh, I Learned so much about business. I learned about the workflows and the marketing and the search engine optimization and the branding and the hiring and the checklists and all this, the bookkeeping, the search engine optimization, the online advertising, the social media. I learned it all. Woo! Yes, I learned it. However, it's acts, not words. Acta, non verba. So, James, if somebody comes to a conference and they learn all this stuff, but they don't apply it, what happens?
Nothing happens.
But there is a certain group of people, not our listeners, who run around acquiring information and they don't apply it.
Those are the worst types.
So this is what happens is Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author, he says that knowledge without application is meaningless. Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us. And it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I've found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Knowledge without application is meaningless. So, James, if somebody comes to a conference and they learn all this and they don't apply it, that doesn't matter, because the idea is acta non verba, acts not words. So if people come to this conference, you're going to see testimonies of people who came to the conference and they say, wow, I had no idea that this was possible. And then you're going to see people, I'm going to show you testimonials of people that applied what we taught them. People that have grown their accounting practice. Now, by the way, in accounting practice, this is not someone who has invented the concept of accounting. There's other accounting. This just in. There are other accountants.
My business, it consists, I'm a CPA and a financial advisor, and we're very successful. I wanted to go from successful to systematic. I wanted to learn systems and processes so that the business can run without me.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But this person, they came to the conference, they learned about how to scale their company. I taught them how to create a subscription model for their accounting as opposed to doing the traditional accounting model. And they've grown the company from $3 million to over $20 million. Wow. Then you're going to see a testimonial, a success story of a home builder who grew the home building business from 15 million to over 150 million, a home builder. And by the way, this just in, there are other home builders, but this home builder grew from 15 million to 150 million of sales.
That's life-changing, Clay.
You're going to hear about a dog trainer who came to this event. Now, let me tell you about the dog trainer. He came to this event, and he had a wonderful business that was it was stagnant. It was stuck. It wasn't able to grow. He was a great guy, knew how to train dogs, but he didn't have a no-brainer offer. He didn't have a website that was optimized. He didn't have branding that made sense. He didn't have a one-sheet.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house. Okay, this is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
He didn't have branding that made sense. He didn't have a one sheet, didn't have a pricing structure that worked, didn't have a linear workflow, didn't have an office culture environment, didn't have decoration in the office that would make people want to work there, didn't understand the process of hiring, inspiring, training, and retaining great people, didn't have a pro forma, didn't know how to franchise, didn't know how to license. But what we do, James, is we take people in, they come to the conference, they learn this stuff, and they go, could you teach me how to do it? And I say, absolutely. Now, folks, here's the secret sauce that allows me to be the boss. My job is to make big obstacles seem small. What? Here's the secret sauce that allows me to be the boss. My job is to make big obstacles seem small.
Favorite aspect is probably just how entertaining it is, and the fact that I pick up one or two or three things every time I come to take my business to the next level. Well, if people are missing out on basically a plan, a guaranteed plan, pretty much if you're willing to work it to be successful. Most people, I think everybody should attend one of these workshops at least once because you don't know what you don't know. And we're not taught to be successful in school.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
A lot of people, they have a fear or a phobia of scaling their business or building the processes. They feel like they don't know what to do, or they need kind of a coach or a mentor to guide them down the path. And so on today's show, you're going to see people that came to a conference, step one. Step two, we taught them how to apply these principles at the conference. Step three, they hired us to help them scale their company. Step four, you're going to hear their success stories. Now, James, money is a magnifier.
We have a little bit of news for you guys. It's now what, May 31st at 6:21. You've been closed for 20 minutes?
Right.
No, it's now June, so let's run the numbers for May. Let's see what he's got.
Totals 102,837.
What's last year to date? 102,837 this year?
And last year was 60,667. Whoa! Coming out of the weeds now.
Boom, baby.
Boom! Out of the weeds, onto the pavement.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
What does that mean? Because we're going to share with you some stories today of an accountant who grew a business from $3 million to $20+ million, of a home builder who grew a business from $15 million to $150 million, of a dog trainer that was able to scale his business from a stagnant business to 15+ locations, to grow the business that was perpetually stuck at 400,000-ish, grow that into a $1 million+ annual revenue.
This year's sales for this week.
So this is the same week last year. Do you see the difference? Look.
Wait a second, I can't really tell. One is,
look.
Michael, can we just I just want to get it. Jason, can you kind of pull this end maybe, just so you can see it? Let's kind of pull it that way. Let's get the length. That's more of a. I can't tell without the length. It's hard to tell.
Look at that. Okay.
So that's last year's sales.
This is last year's sales, and the total is a mere $4,711.73. Same week this year, 2015. The total is, read it, Michael.
$11,313.50.
Oh, boom! There it is.
What?
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for 3 months and you have $350,000 of bills you've got to pay, and we have no accounts receivable. He helped us navigate that, and of course we were conservative enough that we could afford to take that on for a period of time. But it was, anyways, great man. I'm very impressed with him. So Clay, thank you for everything you're doing, and I encourage you, if you haven't ever worked with Clay, work with Clay. He's going to help magnify you, and there's nobody I have ever met that has the ability to work as hard as he does. He probably sleeps 4, maybe 6 hours a day, and literally the rest of the time he's working, and he can outwork everybody in the room every single day, and he loves it. So anyways, this is Charles Kola with Kola Fitness. Thank you, Clay, and anybody out there that's wanting to work with Clay, it's a great opportunity to ever work with him. So you guys have a blessed one. This is Charles Kola. We'll see you guys.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
When I say money's a magnifier, James, what does that mean?
It means if you're already a great person, the money will allow you to do greater things. And if you're not a great person, you're going to do things that are you're going to do more of the bad stuff.
Right. Because money's a magnifier. That's what it is.
Right.
So if you're a greedy, I don't want to say a greedy bastard, because that would then infer that you, just because you don't have a father in your life, that means you're greedy. I'm not going to say that. That doesn't make any sense. But if you're somebody who's greedy, the Bible states, for the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's for the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself. The money is just a tool. And people that are obsessed with money itself become a tool of the money.
Hi, my name is Josh Spurl from Spurl & Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I met Clay at his conference in Tulsa in June of 2018. Started working with the coaching program shortly after there. The experience has been great. You really have a partner in the grind. Most people, I like to say most people are wrong about most things about business most of the time. And it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to connect with other entrepreneurs who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to business. But Clay and his team really does understand. The tangible improvements that we've seen is we're up over 50% since starting with the coaching program. And they're helping to help business owners create time freedom and financial freedom. And I know what you're going to think. You're going to say, what the heck are you going to do with your time freedom and financial freedom when you're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada? That's the most northerly city in North America with 1 million people. We're probably just sitting in our igloos hoping for some television, but I'll give you an idea of what we're doing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So over here we have Sandra and we have Emma. Emma, say hello.
Hi everybody, this is my daddy's channel.
Emma really likes any video. So let's give it let's see what actually the time freedom and financial freedom can do for you in Edmonton. So believe it or not, we have a beach here, guys. And I'll take you on the little tour of Edmonton's beach. Now it's not what you Americans are going to think of as a beach. This is a northern beach. Got a really cool slide here. I don't know if you can see this purple slide. This purple slide that you're looking at here does a full loop-to-loop. It knocks you completely upside down when you go to it. See if I can get the right angle here. That does not appear physically possible, but it really is going to knock you upside down. Went on it last time, and here is the Edmonton beach. This is a northern beach. You guys out in Tulsa, you Americans think you have all the beaches here, but here is the northern beach, complete with waves. We got 30-degree weather inside here. Oh, sorry, 30. That's 90 for you guys over there. I gotta do the translation, the math in my head. And we even got a zip line that we can ride down here. And this is what we're doing with our time freedom and financial freedom in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thanks to the Thrivetime team. Thanks very much, guys.
I learned at the Academy in Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But money's just a tool. Money's like a hammer. Money's like a tire. Money's like a sock. Money's like a car. You could use a car for bad things. You could use a hammer for bad things. A lot of people could, you could kill someone with a hammer. You could kill somebody with a sock, I guess, if you wanted to. You could kill someone with a tire if you wanted to. But I mean, there's a lot of creative thoughts going through people's minds right now. But the thing is that money is just a magnifier. In the 1 Timothy chapter 6:10 reads, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and have pierced themselves through with many sorrows." And so what happens is that money is a magnifier. And so if you're somebody who's greedy and nefarious and will throw somebody under the bus to make an extra dollar, money's going to allow you to be more of a greedy personality type that will throw somebody under the bus for a dollar. That's what money will allow you to do.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and our ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to First of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
I learned at the Academy in Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Now, if you're a grateful person, if you're a kind person, and James, that's why we only work with grateful, kind people. That's why when we share these testimonies of wonderful, great, kind people, it's a blasty blast. So James, that's what's fun about capturing these success stories, is that real people at the peak of their success are explaining to you how they did it. And luckily, James, we're able to actually gather footage of some of these people at the beginning, when they first came to a conference, and then at the peak when they achieved massive success. So James, I am fired up for people to watch this testimonial, but let's make sure I'm being a good teacher here. The two concepts I want to teach you. One, for anybody out there, it's called acta non verba, which in Latin means acts, not words. That's the idea, is acts, not words, okay? That's what it means. And then I want to teach the second concept, which again, money is a magnifier.
I learned at the Academy in Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
James, in your own words, what does it mean? You say acta non verba, you go, I don't understand what you're saying. You say, well, it's Latin, it means, well, in your mind, what does it mean?
It means you can't just talk about it, you have to be about it.
That's how it works. And somebody says, well, Clay, I can't afford coaching with you guys. Well, good news, we only take on 160 clients, so, we might not be available. But we do have scholarship pricing. Now, this is how I make money. This is the secret sauce that allows me to be the boss. One, I make the big obstacles seem small. And two, a lot of my clients, I get a small percentage of the growth. So, James, why would I be so motivated to help somebody who is struggling and they're stagnant? Why would I want to invest the time for my own? I mean, if you take the altruism out of it, the fact that I grew up poor and I want to help people be successful, why would I want to help somebody to scale a company if I get 2%? We are joined by none other than my brother from another mother, Mr. Josh, the founder of Living Water Irrigation. Mr. Josh, welcome onto the show, my friend. How are you?
I am awesome, Clay. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm excited for the listeners to get to know more about you. Could you share the name of your company, a little bit more about what you guys do at Living Water Irrigation, where the name comes from?
Absolutely, positively. So Living Water Irrigation, the most important part of that to me is John 7:38. So it's mentioned in the gospel a number of times where the living water, but our specific scripture that we drew our name from is John 7:38. It says, whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow through him. We have a very distinct vision as a company on who we are and what we want to do. And I believe that I was put here to go make some money to give it away.
And I'm not going to ask you for the specific details of your career and how you started the business as far as a linear timeline, but how long has this particular business been around?
We've been around just 2 years, sir.
2 years. And you guys, we first met. How did we first meet?
I came in and y'all started coaching me over at the Thrivetime, over at Thrive 15.
And do you remember when that was approximately and how you first heard about us?
So it would have been October or November of 17.
October or November of 17.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of your growth as a company, how much have you grown this year?
So this year we're up 450% year over year.
So now that you're implementing this program, you're getting more calls, right? Are you getting more calls?
Absolutely.
Sales are going up. You're gathering reviews from your real customers, adding content to the website, adding a gallery of work.
So I'm going to actually take a minute and make you really uncomfortable, Clay.
Nice.
So when we started with y'all, it was awesome. We had a little company, just me and one dude and one little van.
Yeah.
And 17 was great. I ate more than ramen noodles, but not much more.
Right.
18 was really good. We started to implement the systems, got the boom book, went to a couple conferences and said, okay, I'm going to buy in. I'm going to sell out. We went to the coaching, got coached by Marshall and Victoria, and started to implement as opposed to just listen, to actually be doers. It's in James. It says don't just be hearers of the word, but be doers as well. And so we implemented scripts. We implemented systems. We implemented checklist. We implemented a pro forma for quoting and all these things that you talk about.
Yeah.
And so just as a real person, and I'm real, I promise you, there's a bunch of Josh Wilsons out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm a famous baseball player and football player.
Oh, wow.
And a gospel singer.
Oh, wow.
But this Josh Wilson just digs ditches for a living. But I just want to say thank you. Standing here for all the systems. I encourage everybody out there, go pick up Start Here. Go pick up the boom book. The stuff you hear on this show, it actually sincerely works.
I learned at the academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Why would I want to help somebody to scale a company if I get 2%?
Because when they grow, then you win too.
Right. It's a win-win. It's called shalom. Look it up, folks. The shalom. It's a biblical concept, the idea of a win-win. It's not a zero-sum negotiation, okay? If you're out there and you're a decent person, you have a soul, you want to create a shalom relationship, a win-win relationship with your partner. So I make more as my clients make more. That's how that works. It's a win-win kind of thing. So that's the idea. And again, James, people can go to thrivetimeshow.com. They can request a ticket. We let them name their price, and we do these conferences every 2 months. Every 2 months we do a business conference. And you've met these people, James.
I do, and you know what? I've met them when they came in and their business is struggling, and then I've seen how they've transformed after a few months. It's like getting a haircut. You know, when you go in and you look real dirty, and you come out and you look like the top of the world.
Money is a magnifier, and acta non verba, this idea that acts, not words, okay? It's all about action and gaining traction. It's not about just learning new concepts, because knowledge without application is meaningless, to quote the great Napoleon Hill. James, you're a beautiful man. You smell terrific. I can't wait for people to see you at our in-person workshops. Again, folks, get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com. They're 2 days. They're interactive. We open up the doors at 7 a.m. We go until about 3 p.m. each day. We do a 30-minute teaching sprint, a 15-minute Q&A session, and then we break, and then we do 30 minutes of training, 15-minute Q&A, and then we break. and then 30 minutes of training, and then 50. So you're going to learn branding, marketing, search engine, all these things. And then, James, we have helicopter rides. We do the helicopter rides from time to time. We have, I think we're roasting a pig at this next. I'm not sure when you're going to hear this podcast, folks, but we're roasting a pig. We're giving away cash prizes. We're giving away. It is a blasty blast, folks. It's like the opposite of business college. It truly is business school without the BS. James, again, you're almost like a benefit we should add to the package. When people go to thrivetimeshow.com, it's like, and you get to meet James. So get those tickets again, folks, at thrivetimeshow.com. James, I really do appreciate you joining me today. And folks, again, get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com.
I'll just leave people with these words. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See, it's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters, June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
Every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
All the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put it up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is. We're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people, accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you, folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. What kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your three-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8, what does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th. Yep. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. Yes. And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You could be at a startup phase or you could be, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad. And it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that, your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now, 7 a.m. to 5, Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day. 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session. We do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoyed a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds, pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250 or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C-I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. Right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrivetime Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got fire breathers, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Eric Antis with Sean Holmes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lending Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the proven system. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. Guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrivetime Show here with you. It is day 2 and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I'll tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm going to say, like, I came to this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from that's ahead of where I am. And I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due, and Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you, so congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodward Finishing. I'm business owner at 23. So been working this K&E's company for about 5 years now, and we started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is they'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous, just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success, and I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach, you know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And
as my rich dad always said, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. My rich dad was one of those persons. You're on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.